In the heart of Kigali, a tale of intrigue, betrayal, and divine providence was about to unfold. The story begins with a young woman named Uwase, who is beautiful, intelligent, and deeply in love with a man named Kamanzi. They had been inseparable since their university days, their love blossoming amidst the scenic hills of Rwanda. Uwase's stepmother, Mugwaneza, was a woman driven by greed and ambition. She had a daughter named Amahoro from a previous marriage. Unlike Uwase, Amahoro lacked the qualities that drew people to her. Mugwaneza, however, was determined to secure a prosperous future for her daughter, even if it meant breaking Uwase's heart. Kamanzi, though hardworking and kind, was not wealthy. He came from a modest background and had great aspirations. Mugwaneza, under the mistaken belief that Kamanzi was wealthy, hatched a devious plan. She began to manipulate circumstances, driving a wedge between Uwase and Kamanzi, while scheming to push Amahoro into Kamanzi's arms. The tension in the household grew as Mugwaneza's plans began to take shape. She would often praise Amahoro in Kamanzi's presence, exaggerating her virtues while subtly undermining Uwase. Kamanzi, she would say, have you noticed how Amahoro has a knack for understanding finances? She would make a wonderful partner in business and in life. Meanwhile, she planted seeds of doubt in Uwase's mind, hinting that Kamanzi might not be as devoted as he seemed. Kamanzi, oblivious to Mugwaneza's true intentions, found himself caught in a web of confusion and doubt. He noticed the growing tension, but could not pinpoint its source. Uwase, sensing something amiss, confronted Kamanzi. Kamanzi, I feel like something is coming between us. Are you hiding something from me? She asked one evening, her eyes filled with concern. Kamanzi, equally confused and evasive, responded, Uwase, I don't know what's happening, but I promise you my love for you remains unchanged. One fateful evening, Mugwaneza invited Kamanzi and his family over for dinner. She had orchestrated the perfect opportunity to expose what she believed was Kamanzi's hidden wealth. As they sat around the table, Mugwaneza began to weave a tale of a family legacy and hidden fortunes. It's fascinating, she said, her eyes gleaming, how certain families have wealth hidden in plain sight, isn't it, Kamanzi? Kamanzi, bewildered by the sudden shift in conversation, felt trapped. He looked at Uwase, who returned his gaze with a mixture of confusion and worry. After dinner, Uwase and Kamanzi found a quiet moment together. What was that about, Kamanzi? Do you have something you're not telling me? Uwase asked, her voice trembling. I don't know why Mugwaneza is saying these things. I promise you, there's no hidden wealth, Kamanzi replied, his voice filled with frustration and helplessness. Mugwaneza, noting Kamanzi's hesitation, took it as a sign that her plan was working. Over the next few weeks, she intensified her efforts, constantly pushing Amahoro towards Kamanzi. Amahoro, coached by her mother, played the part of the perfect companion, always appearing at the right moment and saying the right things. Kamanzi found himself increasingly drawn to Amahoro's apparent attentiveness and shared interests, although his heart still longed for Uwase. In a cruel twist of fate, Mugwaneza managed to arrange an engagement between Kamanzi and Amahoro. The announcement was sudden, catching everyone by surprise. Uwase was devastated. She felt betrayed by the man she loved and by her own family. On the night of the engagement party, Uwase decided to leave Kigali. She couldn't bear to witness the union that shattered her dreams. As Uwase journeyed away from the city, she found herself in a remote village. There, she met an elderly woman named Gasaro, who welcomed her into her home. Gasaro, with her wisdom and warmth, helped Uwase find solace. She shared stories of divine justice and the mysterious ways in which fate worked. Uwase, she said one evening as they sat by the fire. Life has a way of testing us, but remember, the darkest nights produce the brightest stars. Uwase, comforted by Gasaro's words, began to heal. She learned to appreciate the simple joys of village life and found strength in the community support. Gasaro became more than a mentor. She was a source of maternal love that Uwase had missed. Back in Kigali, the engagement of Kamanzi and Amahoro proceeded, but it was not the joyous occasion Mugwaneza had envisioned. Kamanzi was plagued by guilt and uncertainty. He missed Uwase terribly and couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. He often found himself wandering through the places he and Uwase used to visit, lost in memories of their happier times. As the wedding day approached, Mugwaneza's plans began to unravel. Rumors spread that Kamanzi was not wealthy, and the truth about his modest background came to light. The realization hit Mugwaneza hard. Her grand scheme was built on a false premise. In her desperation to save face, she tried to call off the wedding, but it was too late. The damage was done, and her reputation was in tatters. Kamanzi, feeling the weight of the deception, decided to seek out Uwase. He traveled to the village where she had taken refuge, guided by rumors and a hope that she would forgive him. When he arrived, he found Uwase living a peaceful, fulfilling life. He approached her with a heavy heart. Uwase, he began, I have been a fool. I let myself be manipulated and I lost the one person who truly mattered to me. Uwase listened, her heart aching for the man she once loved. Kamanzi, she said softly, I have found peace here, but I cannot ignore the past. We were both victims of manipulation, but we have to move forward. Kamanzi nodded, understanding that their paths had diverged irreparably. Upon her return to Kigali, Uwase was greeted with shocking news. An unexpected benefactor had entered her life. This man, a wealthy businessman named Mugisha, had heard of Uwase's plight through Gasaro. Mugisha was captivated by Uwase's resilience and kindness. He offered her a position in his company, and their relationship blossomed. Uwase, Mugisha said one evening, your strength and grace are remarkable. I want to be by your side, supporting you in all your endeavors. Mugwaneza, realizing her grave mistake, tried to reconcile with Uwase. She approached her stepdaughter with tears in her eyes. Uwase, I am sorry for everything I did. I was blinded by my ambitions and failed to see the harm I was causing, she pleaded. But Uwase had moved on. Mugwaneza, she replied, I have forgiven you, but I cannot forget. I have found happiness and a future with someone who respects and loves me for who I am. On the day of Uwase and Mugisha's wedding, Kamanzi stood in the crowd, a silent witness to the twist of fate. He understood now that his life had been manipulated by greed and deception. As Uwase and Mugisha exchanged vows, Kamanzi felt a sense of peace. He had lost Uwase, but in doing so, he had found clarity and a chance to start anew. I will honor her by living a life of integrity and honesty, he vowed to himself. Uwase's story became a legend in Kigali, a tale of divine intervention and the triumph of true love over deceit. Mugwaneza's downfall served as a cautionary tale, reminding everyone that greed and manipulation never led to lasting happiness. Her once ambitious demeanor was now replaced with humility and regret, a stark reminder of the consequences of her actions. As for Uwase and Mugisha, they lived a life filled with love, prosperity, and gratitude. Their union was a testament to the power of faith, resilience, and the belief that destiny always has a plan, even in the face of the darkest trials. They dedicated themselves to philanthropy, helping those in need, and spreading the message that true happiness lies in kindness and honesty. Years later, Uwase and Mugisha's children grew up hearing their parents' extraordinary story. They were taught the values of integrity, love, and resilience. Gasaro's wisdom passed down through Uwase became a cherished family legacy. Remember, Uwase would say to her children, no matter the trials you face, always hold on to your integrity and believe in the goodness of fate. Kigali, now a thriving city, held onto the legend of Uwase and Mugisha. Their story was told in schools and communities, a beacon of hope and a reminder that no matter how dark the times, light always finds a way to shine through.